Hello, good evening.
Good evening, Mr. Lamsa. Good evening.
Alright, I'm going to be starting now.
All right.
Mm. So, yesterday we talked about tables and we saw how to structure our data into a table and then use it to analyze your data. And we stopped at sum if. So, I'm going to be doing that sum if again so that we can remember what we did there yesterday. So let me structure my data because my data is unstructured now. So Control C, my data has headers. You make sure this is clicked on is okay. And then I'll name it customer table. Enter. Okay. Our data is now a table. So we want to, they tell us to find the revenue based on a particular criteria. And the criteria is based on the age bands of each of these customers. So we want to find it. We're going to use sum if. Click on sum if. The range that we are going to be working with is the customer, that's the age bands, right? So we look for it over here. Age category, sorry, that's what I was looking for. We close this our brackets, comma. The criteria is teenager. And the sum range that we are working with is the transaction. So call up that customer table again and then open the brackets, look for transaction amount, close our box bracket, close the general bracket and enter. So it has given us this is the revenue for each teenager, the revenue for the young adults, for the adults and so on. So this for just one criteria. So whenever we have like we're working with like multiple criteria, for instance, they want to know for electronics, but not just for electronic, but also for mail. So the male, want to know for male, want to know for female, want to know for the ones that were not listed. It was us that put it not specified. So we want to know for all of them. So we're going to use sum if because we're using different criteria now. So we'll come over here, sum if. The sum in this one, the this thing is different. For sum ifs here, we are starting with sum range first of all. And our sum range, I don't know if you guys are following. If you guys are following, you're supposed to tell me what the sum range is. Can anyone tell me what the sum range is? Because you might want to use the same pattern. That's why I say you always have to read like the instruction Excel is showing you. So please, can you tell me what the sum range is? Hello? Okay, I'm going to continue. The sum range is a transaction. So customer table, open brackets, transaction amount, close brackets. So we are going to choose our then comma. The criteria range we are working with is what is our category. So this criteria range one is category that we are working with for now. So the first criteria range is category. So we are going to call up category from our customer table. So do customer table again, and then we'll look for category here, and we click on it and we close. And then what's the criteria one? The criteria one is electronics, right? So comma. So we are done with the first criteria. So now we're moving on to the second criteria. So the second criteria is gender, and for the gender specifically, we are doing it for the male gender, right? So second criteria should now be we are going to call up gender, the gender table, the gender column from our table. So that's over here. So what's the criteria for that gender? Yes, comma. The criteria is male, that's M. So click on this, and then we'll close our bracket, and then we enter. So we can see that that's gone. Then there is an error here. Why? Because let us see. We have seen this one. This is very correct, right? So, but when you come over here, due to Excel relative referencing, we can see that our gender criteria was V22. That's male. We want to see only for male, but due to Excel relative referencing, it has moved from V22 to V23. That's over here. That's why we are seeing 0 here. So we don't want that. So I've already talked about absolute referencing before. So we have to apply absolute referencing to our formula so that it does not move from this male down to. Do you have any
Like,
question?
lock the cell and add dollar sign in front of the that particular reference point.
Yes. You don't even need to lock the column. The particular thing you need to lock is the row, because it's the row that is moving. The column is not moving, right? You understand?
Mm.
So you just need to lock the row, and the row is 22. So you go back here and you add your dollar sign in front of 22 and you enter. So now if you drag it down again,
Okay, I will not have to add it to the two side. Just the 22.
yes, just the 22, because it's 22 that is moving. If you can see, when we checked this one before, it's moved down to V23.
Mm.
Do you understand? It moved down to V23. It moved down from V22 to V23 to V24 to V20. So it's just the row that is moving. If you want to
Okay.
know if the column is moving, it will move from V22 to W22 to X22, but it did not do that, right?
Mm.
It was moving from 22 to 23 to 24. So it was the rows that was moving, not the column. But you can still lock the row if you want, but it will not make it's not going to make any difference. You understand? So that's just basically it for that particular one. All right. Now let's do for this one. Can you I want you to direct me on what to do for this one. Are you there?
Okay, we'll call on the customer table.
So what's in the customer table are we looking for?
We are looking for the female revenue.
No, that's not it. What did they write here?
Transaction amount.
No, what did they
Mm,
write here? Sum range.
sum range.
So the
Mm,
sum range, that's what you're adding,
mm.
right? So yes, it's transaction. I feel like you just guessed it.
No, no,
So
I know
sum
that.
range is what.
Okay.
You need to understand it because if it's another data set now, you might get confused.
Okay.
So you need to understand the sum range is the values that you are adding, the values you are summing together. And in this
Mm,
case, our sum range is our transaction amount. So we are calling up the customer table and then open your box brackets, click on your transaction amount, close your box brackets. Then what's the next thing we are looking for?
the category.
Are you seeing my screen? Should I see my screen?
Okay, the
Are you
criteria
reading
range.
the criteria range one? What do you think our criteria range one is from this our table here? And from
Category.
this is the category, right? So we are going to
Mm.
call it up from where?
From you.
We are calling it up from our customer table.
Okay.
So you need to call your customer table first before you choose your category now. Because your customer
Okay.
table will not just come up like that. So open
Okay.
brackets. We are looking for category. Category is down. And then we close our box brackets. So what's the criteria?
The criteria is female age. Maybe
No,
female.
that's the second criteria. The first criteria is this electronics over
Is
here.
age now. Okay,
Cos
electronics.
yes, cosmetic, electronic. Remember I said that
Well,
this
it's under the
cat-
category now.
is under the category, but it's not. We are calling it out now. Sure, you know, we are
Okay.
bringing it out over here, and this is what we are working with: electronics,
Okay.
cosmetic, restaurants. So it's not after you have called out the criteria range, that's the range. Like this column is the entire range that we are picking out. Do you
Mm.
understand? Like
Yeah.
Excel will pick out market, and add it all up together. Excel will pick out cosmetic from this range. That's where
Okay.
Excel is picking it out for. But in this particular side is like specified, like which side are you working with now? So what we
Mm.
want is electronics, and relative referencing will now make it to move. Like after we have done everything, relative reference will make it to move from electronics to cosmetic to restaurant.
Mm.
That's why I say that it has to be the same spelling. Because if they
Mm.
mistake your spelling here and it does not correspond with this one, you will be left
Mm.
with that error. You understand?
Yes.
Okay. So the criteria is this one. As it's move
Okay.
as we do our flash field, the criteria will move to this one. It will move over here. Assuming we wanted criteria for only electronics, we will now do that
Mm.
same thing we did over in this mail, whereby we have to lock it.
Mm.
Do you understand? But it's not
Yes.
only for electronics. We are getting for electronics, cosmetic. But if it's only for electronics and we don't want any other one, we would have to lock it.
Mm.
But we are not locking it because we want for all this criteria over here. So comma, We are moving on to our second criteria range. The second criteria range is what?
Is the age.
Where did age come from? There's no age here.
Customer table, customer table.
For which one?
For age now.
For gender.
Gender.
For gender, not age. So we close our bracket and we are working this time with female. So to avoid that stuff that happened before, we are going to just simply lock it immediately, right? We'll lock
Mm.
the row and then we'll close our brackets and click enter. Assuming you were working with your own laptop, I feel like you would have noticed the mistake yourself. You understand? Like it will be
Mm.
easier because as you're working, you will get confused. Oh, which one am I supposed to choose next? Do you understand?
Mm. Did we make an error? Why is that plus sign there?
That's an error. So it's the same thing that I'm going to do for
The plus sign is showing that travel bar.
is because
Because
the
of
this
too
thing
long.
was
Okay.
yes.
Okay.
So this is the same thing we're going to do for here too. You can even simply come here sef and just copy this. Let you see. Mhm.
Or will it be the same since is
No, it's not the same. So this one
okay.
we can just say no that is X, right?
Mm.
It's X is on X column. So we can just simply
Mm.
put on X
Mm.
and click on enter. You can see. And that's just basically
What did you change? Did you change the gender, the place of the gender where is not specified?
I don't
Okay.
understand your question.
Okay. I think I get in the place of the last criteria now where you have to put the gender
Yes, I
instead
changed
of
the
putting
column. The column this
the
thing is the only thing that changed.
okay. So NX, not specific.
So that's it on
Okay.
this particular one. So you know how to use some if you are given like different categories and you want to just get the totals of those categories, you can use sum if. Then if you want to use different criteria like different conditions, you can use sum ifs and that's it. So now we're going to move to VLOOKUP. So I've already structured my table. Okay. They have different lookup function, but I'm going to be working with VLOOKUP and we're going to also look at index mass. VLOOKUP is what is mostly used. HLOOKUP is similar to VLOOKUP. HLOOKUP is horizontal, like let me just have funny. Lookup functions, they search for value in a range and return the information. So for instance, like this table is here and you want to look for a particular customer ID, like you want to get their name, and you cannot come and start searching through the whole table or anything like that. You can use VLOOKUP, you can use HLOOKUP, but VLOOKUP is what is mostly used, and then index match is also used in Excel. VLOOKUP searches for a value in the first column of a range and returns a value in the same row from another column. So, and one thing about VLOOKUP is that VLOOKUP goes like from finds like finds in the first column, that's return from the right. It goes from left to right. I feel like once once I start um showing you example, you're going to understand more. It moves from left to right, and VLOOKUP is commonly used for looking up for an information, like retrieving something using a unique identifier. If you notice something about this, our this thing here is that like unique identifier here is customer ID. I've told you something about unique identifier before. I don't know if you remember. Like the ID of a customer, of a person, is what makes the person stand out, because people can have similar name, people can have similar surname, but your ID is what makes you stand out. Just like you go to bank now and have an issue and they ask you for your BVN is unique to only you. Like no other person can have your BVN, right? So your BVN is like your unique identity. So the unique identity here is customer, sorry, excuse me, the unique identity here is customer ID. So VLOOKUP works with let me open this thing. It says ahead looks for a value in the leftmost column of a table. That means your unique identifier for VLOOKUP, for you to be able to search for anything, because it moves from left to right. For you to be able to search for anything, your VLOOKUP has to be at the leftmost column. That's it's like, let me show you. For this thing now, you see my customer ID is at the beginning here. If it's at maybe the middle or something, if you want to search for something like behind that customer ID, if name or surname was behind and you want to search for name or surname behind it, it will give you an error, because VLOOKUP looks from left to right. That's what VLOOKUP does. So it's kind of stiff in that way. So let me continue my explanation. So equals to VLOOKUP looks for a value in the leftmost corner of a table and then returns a value in the same row from a column that you specify. By default, the table must be sorted in an ascending order. So let me insert this VLOOKUP. So our lookup value, let me just explain these things. Our lookup value is the value you want to search for. For instance, here now, this is our lookup value. This is the value that we want to search for. Then the table array is the table, like the range of the table to search in. And the table we are searching in is our customer table, right? So you have to call up your customer table that's popped up. So that's your table array. Is the column number in the table, in this our table array, that's this our customer table. What's that column number that you want to search for? It is the column number in the table for which we are to retrieve the value from. So we don't know our column number and we don't want to start going back to our this thing. We can do that though. It's giving us error, you see. So we cannot start going back. Let's type the customer table again. We cannot start going back and start looking to count. So what we can do is we can look for it over here. So the what we are looking for is customer name, right? So let us look for the where customer name. So customer name is number 4 here, because they are asking for column index number. That's the column number. That column number, where is it? Like, where is the column? What's the number of that column that you want to bring up the information for? What's the number of that column in your what's the number of that column in your table? So let us count. 1, 2, 3, 4 is number 4. So now we can now remove this our box because we only open the box to search for it. So this is our table array, this one here is our table array, and this is our column index number, then comma. We want the exact match, we don't want approximate match. Exact match is 0, that's false. So we write 0 there, and then we close our bracket and we click on enter. So you can see that it has brought up our customer name for us. And then if you drag this down, if we drag this down, it will give us the entire names of these people. If we want to confirm if it's actually true, let us do Control C. Okay, we come over here, we want to search for this particular number. Control V. Okay, it's only this one we want to look for it. So we can see is Alejandro Reed, and over here too is the same thing. So meaning that it gave us a correct answer, right? So let us clear filter. So we are going to do the same thing for here. So equals to, hope you are following. Are you there?
Yes, I'm here. VLOOKUP
Okay.
to my table. Then we look for the number.
So equals to VLOOKUP, the lookup value.
Mm.
Our lookup value is what? What are we
Is the
looking?
cost? We're looking for age.
That's not our lookup value.
The
The
customer
lookup,
ID. Customer ID.
yes, that's what you are using to look for in your
It.
table. So what's your table array?
Customer table.
Customer table. And then your column index number. How do we find the column index number? And which column index number are we looking for?
We're looking for age. We'll call up the table.
Age category. Okay.
Mm.
Then we'll call it up. Open our brackets. We'll now count. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right. So it's 8. So we can remove this and put our comma and put 8 over here. And then we want the exact match. So 0.
Here's
Close
your
our
water.
bracket and enter. Then we can drag this down again. So
Mm.
over here, why is showing us error? If like the value of, like, for instance, now this customer ID, if this customer ID is not in that table, that's when Excel is going to show you error. Like this customer ID you are looking for is not there, like, because it will not just bring up any random thing for you. So this customer ID, this particular customer ID is not in our table. So if we encounter an issue like this, what we're going to use is if error. So it is now like a nested function, just like your nested if and all that. So we'll use if error. This is our value already. It's showing us value. So we have already written our value. So if Excel does not see anything, like any customer ID with this thing, then we are going to ask Excel to give us no data. Sorry. No data, and then we'll close our brackets and enter. So now we are going to drag this down. You can see that it has fixed that, rather than for our this thing to be showing error. So anybody that is going through this will know that, oh, this customer ID is either not correct or is not present in this particular data. So we are going to do the same thing for over here. Please, can you tell me what I'm supposed to do? You look up. Are you there?
Customer ID, which is our lookup value.
Okay. And then
Our
table,
table array and customer table.
then open
Now,
our brackets.
mm,
Look for
now
where transaction
transaction
amount
amount.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So it's 9, right? So take back and put 9. We want exact match, which is false. Can either put false or you can put 0. So close the
Okay.
bracket and enter. So it's going to also give us that error. So for this
Mm.
one, we'll come here again. If error, since it's a number, that's a value this time. We can just put dash.
Okay.
Close the bracket. You can mute yourself so it will not affect the live stream. Sorry, supposed to put it in quotation. So this has been sorted out. It's the same thing for over here. Basically the same thing that we are going to be doing over here. I'll just do one and then we'll move on to index match. Equals to be lookup. The lookup value table array. Table array is customer table. The column index number is merchant name. We want to know the merchant that sold to. So merchant name is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Shall you see how stressful it is to count with what's it called? VLOOKUP. That's something that you don't have to do with index match. That's why index match is also better than VLOOKUP. Because sometimes you can have like a data set with so much columns, you not keep on counting. Imagine if you have a data set up to like 50 columns. And you now have to, once you want to call up, you have to start doing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 till you reach 20 something. Then that's if you have not lost count oh, and you continue like that. It's stressful now, right? So that's one thing that index match is better than VLOOKUP in. So let me just count this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So it's 13. So put 13. And then we want the exact match. Close our brackets, click enter. So this is the merchant's name that sold to the customer. So we will add our if error here. If error, then comma, no data. So always remember your quotation mark for your text value and you close your brackets and enter. So same thing for the category, same thing for the transaction amount. So I want to move to index match now. I want to show you something. One thing about VLOOKUP is VLOOKUP, you see how we have these numbers here. One advantage of VLOOKUP is that once a new column is added to that your data set, it does not like automatically like correct itself. Instead, it will affect your results. Do you understand? So that's why it's like index match is better than VLOOKUP. So let me say, for instance, now this merchant's name, let me go and add a column, insert column. Let me insert column. Let me insert another one. So let's go back to our VLOOKUP. I see what it's giving us. 0 0 0 0 0, because we have inserted a new column. So that's the disadvantage of VLOOKUP. Okay, let me put, assuming I've put for category now. Let me go back and delete. Let me fix categories on. Let's work on category. So equals to VLOOKUP your table array is your customer table. So that one category is going to be 14. Don't need to count it because I've already seen where it was. It's after that one. So 10, close the bracket, enter. So yes, we drag it down. Let's add our if error, comma, enter. So now let me go and add a column over at this place. Insert. Let me show you what it has done. Sure, you see that now the merchant name that was 13 is now 000 because there is no value there. And now the category has now become the merchant name. So this is what VLOOKUP, that's why VLOOKUP is not recommended when you know that you are going to still be editing that data. Like you're most likely to add more columns, and if it's not at the end, it might even be at the middle, like the columns you're adding, because if you add the columns at the end, it might not affect it, but you're most likely to add more columns at the end. Like is a data that you are actively updating. I don't think it's advisable to use VLOOKUP. So for that's why index match is like index and match. When I say index match, you look as if it's together. Is index function, there's index function and there's match function. So index and match function allows you to search in any direction from left to right, right to left. You know, for what's it called? VLOOKUP, you can only search from left to right. That's from this customer ID over here. That's why I told you that assuming your customer name was before customer ID, you cannot find your customer name. Like you will not be able to look up your customer name. So VLOOKUP searches from left to right, while index and match allows you to search from left to right. You can search from right to left or even up and down. And also, when you're using your VLOOKUP, if you insert or delete a column in the table, the formula breaks. Like your formula will break and the wrong, because the column number like will change. So your formula is going to break and your data, it will make your data to be incorrect. And then with index and match, like this issue does not occur because the column and row number are dynamically calculated. Like so as you are changing your data set, index match is adjusting to that. It's not, it will not make your this thing to be wrong. You understand? So and also index and match is faster than VLOOKUP for large data sets because VLOOKUP searches through an entire data table, whereas match can search with a specific column or row. So that's the advantage of let me delete this. index match over the lookup. So let's move to index match now. So please hold on. I need to get touch. Can you see?
Uh, you have learned a lot today, and I hope you understand what our instructor Azonta has been teaching. So I would like to hear from you, Stella. Hello, hello, Stella.
Okay, sorry, I was talking. Oh, I said yes. I've really learned a lot, and I really appreciate the fact that we had lots of examples given to try out the V lookup. So it's easier for me to have it in my head even without looking back. And even this
Okay, good.
index match, I'm saying that we're still going to run it like 3 times. Okay, 5 times, even six. So it's actually nice. I appreciate that.
Okay, I
I'm
would
still
like to
having
let.
issues with my system. They said
I'm not getting.
something went bad, so I need to. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. You said something went bad on your laptop.
Yes, that the repairer said something went bad and they have to send to Lagos to get the thing. So right now, I don't know what to do. I don't know how long that is going to take because it's a new system. I'm surprised that something is just going wrong. Just barely 2 months.
Wow.
Oh,
I, the thing is that our class might likely end next week.
right
So
now,
how will you be able to work on your project for 2 weeks?
that's what I don't know. That's why I'm bringing this up now. So. But it's
Okay,
still with the repairer. I'm hoping that by this week will be enough for me to get it all sorted out. Because apart from this program, there are other things I'm doing with the system that is on hold right now, and I can't help myself,
no
honestly.
problem, no problem, no problem. We'll get back to you. So, Abigail, you have been off and on. You have been off and on, and it's not really good.
Good evening, everyone. So, in fact, I don't know where to start from, but I'm trying to catch up. Yes, I've been on and off because my time zone is different. So many activities. I have to settle down. Some days there's absolutely no network for me to join, like yesterday. So, I'm still struggling. So, the first assignment that we're giving today, the if, ands, or, and the others, I've tried to fill it up. I think I'll try and drop I'll try and drop it for the instructor. I have a few difficulties, but to an extent, I was able to do some of it today on my laptop. So I'll try and drop it this evening. I'm on the last one, the businesses. And then I need to catch up with the class for yesterday, the tables class. And then this one, I came in late because of the timing, the way things work here. They will not, you can't go online. You asking, but God is helping me. That's just all I can say for now.
Okay, I want to make it easy for you. I want to make it easy for you. Okay, anytime you are having challenges, you don't want you might not be able to come to class. Okay, as soon as you have access to internet, please go back to the recorded video. You
Okay.
practice just like your normal class.
Okay.
Any assignment given to you, practice and give us a feedback.
Okay.
Just like okay, for people who are like for people who cannot access the online streaming, the live classes, we can also access them through their at their own space. Let's say at their own space, we can also assess them with their project and their assignment. You understand?
Okay.
Okay. That's why the live recorded video is available for you. If you
Okay.
cannot join us on this section that is holding live on your own spare time or free time, you can watch it and have knowledge of it. Give us a feedback of what you have learned. Then we will record it that you attended the class. Okay.
Okay. All right.
Okay. Reach out
So
to us. Reach out to
should I
instructor.
okay. 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 Okay.
You reach
Can
out to
somebody
the instructor and if you are having issues so that we can sort it out. Because from next week, if you are having issue, we might not, from next 2 weeks, if you are having issue, we might not be able to sort it out from you. Since the class is going on, that is the time you are supposed to give your report. Okay, so as soon as
okay.
the next week reach and we are given a project, we might not be able to uh, uh, answer some questions, but we can answer your question in relate to your project. Okay, so keep moving on, and one day, surely you'll meet up with us. Okay, just try
Okay.
practice on your own spare time. So thank you from
Okay, sir.
for
So
your.
for the assignment, sorry, sir. So
Sorry,
for the
let me
previous
continue
assignment,
because the live stream will still end and you will not be able to watch this. Let me finish, please.
Okay, you can continue.
All right. So we
hello,
are
sir.
moving to
Okay,
index
okay,
match.
okay, okay. No,
We are
no, it's
moving
fine.
to index match and let me delete all this. I've already explained why index match is better than VLOOKUP. So index, I told you index match is like a mixture of two functions. There's index and there's match. Just as you have is a nested function, just like you have nested if, whereby you need to add if or something else. Like and also just like you have your if error and your VLOOKUP, they are all nested functions. So let's work. So we are first of all going to call up the index function, and then the instruction given is your array. And in this instance, your array is the column that you are looking up. And the column that we want to look up is the customer name column, right? So we are going to call up our customer table and then we'll call up the customer name because that's what we are looking for. So after that, then that's where we'll now introduce, they're asking for roll number, but that's where we introduce our match function. Please mute yourself. That's where we introduce our match function. And when you introduce your match function, it asks you for your lookup value. And the value you want to look up, like your lookup value, the value you are looking up is your customer ID, right? So you click on, I don't know why it's doing this. It's not supposed to do this. I think it's because I left before. Let me delete all this. Please mute yourself or enter. So equals to index. Let's do it again. The array that we are looking for is the column that you are looking for, right? So the column we are looking for is customer name. So customer table, customer name. We close the brackets. Then we are going to introduce our match here. And then the lookup value is this. This is our lookup value. This is the value that we are looking for. And then the lookup value array is the range, the column range that we are looking for this lookup value from. And the column range we are looking for this lookup value from is the customer ID, right? Like we're looking for this particular customer ID, that's this 665628, from our customer ID column in our table. So we are going to call up our table and call up that column. So customer table, and then we'll call up the customer ID column. We close the brackets, and then just like we said before, we want the exact match, so 0. So we opened two brackets over here. We should not forget that because it's a nested function. So we are going to close two times. We're going to use two brackets to close, and then we click enter. And we can see that it has given us the customer names using index and match function. Do you guys understand what I did? Someone audio is on. Do you understand what I did?
No, please, I got
I'm
lost at some
sorry.
point.
Maybe when you are taking the second example, it will click.
Okay. All right, let's go again. So come over here, equals to index. So the array, what array means is the column that you are looking up. And the column we are looking up, that the column we want to get our value from that's the age category column in our customer table, right? So before we get the age category column, we need to call up our customer table first. So we do customer table, and then we'll call up our age category. We'll bring up our age category. After that, this is where we introduce our match function. And then we'll put our match. And we want to find the lookup value. The lookup value is this particular ID. It can be this
Rachel,
one, it can be
this
this
your
one,
dad carry your
this one.
bag
Please
from that
mute
chair. Your bag is
yourself.
not supposed to drop.
Oh, it can be this one, it can be this one, it can be this one. So we'll click on this one because it's relative referencing will allow it to go down automatically, right? So then we'll put our comma, and then the lookup array that we are working with is the range, that column range, this customer ID column range. So we need to call up our customer table again. So customer table, so the column range now is customer ID, right? So we click on our customer ID, we close our box brackets, and then we want the exact match, so 0. And then we close the bracket two times because we opened two functions, and we click on enter. Is there any confusion? Is there any confusion?
No, no,
Okay,
no, no confusion.
okay. Then this error we are seeing, we know what to do about the error now. We use
So
if
add if
error.
error.
Yes, sorry, no if. We use if error. This is our value, and then the value, if there's error, we just put no data, close it, and close our distance again, and click enter, and then we correct it. So that's basically it. Please, I would like you to like tell me what to do in this one. I'm waiting on.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, let me try.
Okay.
So index
Okay. Equals to index.
equals to index.
So the next,
We'll call up our customer table, which is our array, and
remember
then we'll
the
put
array column that you are looking for. Yes. Color customer table.
yes customer table, and the column is a transaction amount.
All right. So customer
Then
table,
a
transaction
customer
amount.
table, the transaction amount, close bracket,
Then yes.
mash, the mash function, comma mash.
Okay.
Then
Then
we'll call up the array that what we are looking up, which is the customer
mm-hmm.
ID. We'll click on it.
That's this one. Yeah, right.
A8.
Yes. Then comma. So
Then
what's the
comma
array?
our customer table. We'll
Mm-hmm.
now we'll pull up our customer table, and then since you are looking for the customer ID, you should match it to the customer ID. So we'll click on the customer ID. Customer ID.
Mm-hmm. I've done so.
I'm not saying the customer ID. Oh.
I've done it, sir. This
Okay.
is it.
So we'll close the bracket twice.
That's not what we'll do next. So look at the instruction Excel is showing you.
Okay, match type. We'll not put 0 because we want the exact match.
Okay.
Mm,
And then I'll close the bracket twice and enter.
right.
That's correct. So if you now encounter an error over here, what will you
Okay.
do?
We'll go back and insert if error.
Okay.
Then we go to the ending of the instruction.
Mm-hmm.
And then we'll use our quotation mark and put no data.
Or we use
Or
dash
since it's
since it's
number, we
valid.
can use dash. Yes, since
Uh,
it's value. Now close the bracket.
and enter. Abigail, thank you very much. Abigail, is she still in class? I didn't know she was in class before, so that's why I was not carrying her along. Is she here? Abigail, seems like she's not following.
I'm in
Anyway,
class, but I'm in class. I got a call. Oh, I'm not following. What's happening?
no problem. So it's basically the same thing that we are going to do here, and that's it about VLOOKUP and index match. So I don't know if you have a particular question. Is there any question? I wanted to show you. So you see for our age category for VLOOKUP, it's showing us 000 because I inserted the column, right? But you come to index match, it's still correct. So you see why index and match is better than VLOOKUP. You understand? So that's just basically what it's about. So I'll end the class here for today. Mr. Moses,
Okay, Stella. Hello, Stella.
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, we'll meet again tomorrow, same time, okay? Azanta, we'll meet again. So good night everyone and have a nice day.
Thank you.